Hello? I'm gonna be so honest. This actually looks pretty fun. I might actually enjoy myself. Hi guys, I'm Degenerate, and welcome to TouchStarved. This is a game that someone requested, and I honestly have been looking at this all over like social medias and everything. And it was something that I was interested in, but I wanted to wait till it came out, but you know, there's a demo, so I might as well play it, right? Alright, I guess let's start. This world began to unravel long before you were born. Who's talking? The fog. It began with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect, others were mindless beasts driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. Me? What did I do? You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed. With hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. Interesting. Alright. The Unnamed. A fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priests claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled in search of a... Huh? I could read most stuff, but not that. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden a supernatural presence around you. Okay. The Hound. A forsaken thief. You were raised by society's outcasts. Criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. How quirky. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to the... Oh my goodness! This is a place in the game. I'm never gonna be able to say it. To the S... to the... no. Travel to the Cenobium? I'm gonna say that. Cenobium. Your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violent underbelly of any city, using your experience with the underworld to get you ahead. The Alchemist, an abandoned mage, so... okay. An exiled... I just said it. Cenobium? An exiled Cenobian mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. Everybody's just out to get me, huh? You fled to the Cenobium seeking a cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. If I'm being completely honest, the first one is the coolest. Maybe. The first one might be the coolest. You were raised as an oracle, remote temple. Okay. Yeah, this one seems like the best option, not gonna lie. I mean... Oh, did I press it? Okay. Confirm. I am a... Your name is Degenerate. You selected she, her pronouns. Your backstory is the Unnamed. Is this correct? Where's the yes or no? Oh, I can pick no. Okay, we're gonna do this again. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Your name is degenerate. You selected they them pronouns. Your backstory is the unnamed. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Had to go do that again. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death. The ever-present stench of decay and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren island. That said land. I realized it after I've already read it. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell you the truth, I'm desperate. To die? It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. Yes, because we are so, like, different. To the point where nobody wants us around. As rations grew sparse, that's a new word, and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair. But then I saw it. A sexy man. Oh. Iridia. That is such a pretty name. City of Knowledge. One of the last stations of humanity left in the world, and home to the famous academy called the Cenobium. I'm gonna have such a hard time doing that. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's here. It's there. All that stands between me and the cure is a final stretch of salt-soaked waste, or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. You have a wagon? How are you this disdain? Like, if you have a wagon, like, at least you have like a mode of transport. You should not be like upset. Is this a hushed voice? Is this fog hall? My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. Damn! I can't read. An eerie silence, heavy. I can tell this game is gonna be so difficult to read. This mystical dictionary of words. An eerie silence, heavy as the mist falls over us. Us? I'm with someone? The only warning we get is a strangled scream. It's nighttime. I'm not trying to scream. The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Oh, that is dead. Then the wagon finally pinches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. God damn it. As soon as I think that we're good because we have a wagon, it gets stolen from us. By a scream, no less. When I open my eyes, adrenaline lends suddenly. Awful clarity to the carnage around me. What the f is going on? A traitor I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud. Their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming gristle, and exposed bone. Who tore that up? Bodies litter the wasteland. What is that? I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding. White blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Oh god. Oh. A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a caravaneer. I'm gonna assume that that's what that word says. I freeze, but it swivels its head, a dozen bulging eyes twitching in my direction, and blink as one. You too loud right now. It's not that time of day. The soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. Get the f back. Don't even. But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. We're immune. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Run for the city, head towards the wagon. Fuck the wagon! It's broken! Run for the city! I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm heading in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. You're right. We lost our wagon after all. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source. Oh, I got the opaque word. But the fog fall twists and stretches sound. There's really no way to go back. Like, there's no way. Even if I mess up a word, that's it. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. What happens? He slams into me, knocking me into the ground. Oh, we ran into each other. And slips in a patch of mud. The solace falls on him as soon as he slows. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. This thing looks absolutely horrendous. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. Ugh! Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Who hurt me? My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib. Ugh! We really cut ourselves on someone else's ribs. My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gouge turned deep into my palm. We already had bandages on? Oh, it's because of that curse. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. That nigga got us. Oh! Traveler? Can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. Who are you? Look at my black ass hand. They reach for my hand and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No! Don't touch! The sensation of their thumb brushed the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch and in the space of a breath my curse takes hold. Is he gonna... Can you be any more deranged looking? It said if I pressed space again I would... Their lips peeled back into a deranged grin. They were so pretty for like 2 seconds. Laughing like a wildebeest. No. I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse. Madness of my own making. What was that sound? The grip of my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Oh, so he wants me to die. That's interesting. Spit bubbles at the corner of their mouth. And fleeks my... Spit bubbles at the corner of their mouth. And fleeks my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. Damn. I don't know what to do. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. Okay. I like to do things the rational way sometimes. So if we can't really breathe, let's try to fight them. He looks like he don't work out or something. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrists, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch, so we're strong. The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm gonna die. And not because of the foghole or the soulless, but because of my own curse. So, my curse makes people hate me? Like, The world is just not happy with our existence right now. It's quite rude. Tears sting my eyes. Not here. Not like this. Can someone save me, please? Anyone. Why don't we crack one of the poking out ribs from the skeletons or whatever and stab him in the neck? I think that'd be good. Because I mean, if it broke our bandages, it could break his veins. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. Is he going to apologize? My vision clears as the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine. Lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slump over the claws hooked through their stomach. Oh. Oh. The soulless shoves the body aside, and the glowing eyes studded its leechery skin, thin as though grinning. There's a flash of claws, red spill across my vision. Did I die? Was it that easy? I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among the outcrop of reeds. Mine, neatly severed at the elbow. Is this serious? It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely terrible. I just started. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down in the desolate wasteland. A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Damn! Did I actually, like, die? If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror. Nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment I take a reflective breath. Air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin. A firm surface underneath me. A strange tang of sulfur in the air. Do not be afraid. Be not afraid. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Yeah, I should have played this sooner. I twist my head toward the voice. Tears flood my bleary vision as the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. Never. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding. But more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. Who cares? He's commanding me. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Yes, I am. You are right about that. Stay away from me. It's opposite day. My words come out in a little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. He straight up says no, like, okay. No. Who the hell is this? I'm gonna lie my stupid ass back down. I just died. You think I'm gonna fight more? I let myself slunk back against the thin pillow. Man, the pillow's thin? Dang. Wincing when the motion jolts my head. Ah, a cooperative patient. Thank you. I liked praise. The words swim in one ear and out the other without much comprehension. I pull the sheet up higher, wiping my eyes until my vision clears. Let's get a good look at him. Mmm, delicious. I just ate, but I am starved. Anyways, I know y'all don't got phones, but what's your number? The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine metal coat. Alright, I'm sorry. Let me read that again because I messed up. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. What a cool medical coat, am I right? I instinctively shrink back. And that's when I noticed that I'm completely naked. Except for a thin linen sheet. He undressed me. Please. Naked. Lying on a low cot. With a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my very move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands under the sheet to hide them from sight. Though it's too late. You must have noticed what they look like. Strange. Cursed. Inhuman. If this person keeps talking down on themselves, I might become more depressed. I brace myself for his inevitable suspension and disgust. But his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He got golden eyes too. All the better to see you with, my dear. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. I can't. How did I live? Like, he kind of reminds me of Jung Lee.
Osmanthus wine.
And Jung Lee is delicious. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I'm pretty sure you're a human. I'm getting tired of this already. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. Dang. Because they all betray you. Even the shrine of my childhood, the one sanctuary I never knew, turned out to be a horrific lie. I can't stop looking at him. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. I bet they do. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hand. They probably have nothing on them. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Oh damn, he gonna be hard to do. Not to do, I meant to read. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. I gotta stay naked. This is nice. With a soft creak, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Come on. Bottles of silvery alchemical. Got it. Concoctions line encounters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch. A faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. Ooh! Yeah. Let's not pick favorites yet. We could just admire for now. We're just admiring. We have to wait to pick favorites. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at front of my cot. What is a cot? He's easily a head taller than most. Interesting. And I have to crane my neck to look at him. Even more interesting. Could you step out? Thank you. I'm just gonna thank him because I'm a little scandalous one, you know? I should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do, or what he wants with me. We'll find out soon enough. Meeting his gaze sends a hot frisson, I've never heard that word before, down my spine. Something about him nags me, like a half-formed memory I can't place. Uh-oh. Thank you. You're welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. See, he was gonna do it anyways. Like, he's a gentleman. Everyone likes a gentleman. Go ahead. I love you, though. With a curt nod, he leaves through a narrow door. So you saw his nose, too? Mm-hmm. Potential right there. I hear a soft... I'm disgusting, but that's the point of this channel. Degenerate. Come on now. Go with the program. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. I count to 3 in the sudden silence. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. Oh, that's a trauma response right there. Counting to 3 to make sure he was gone. An inch. Like, are you serious? What have I been through? An inch on my elbow. Oh no, this is itch. Whoops. An inch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. We gotta see this monster again? I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet, my arm shows no sign of injury, apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. He can restore limbs! I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. Why would I want that? But nothing happens. The seconds tick by, and my arm remains resolutely healed. My surroundings pristine and quiet. Now tell me this. Would I rather want to be in a very nice, clean little hospital room with a sexy Nubian man? Or would I rather be drowning in a lake with one arm? Probably the first one. Are you serious? Why would you want to be back in murky water, about to be torn to shreds by some weird monster from the Black Lagoon? In numb disbelief, I reach for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black woolen cloak to go with them. But there's one thing still missing: my bandages. You don't gotta hide them from me, baby girl. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. You don't gotta cover them. Come on now. Let yourself shine through. You know? Be proud of your disgustingly black arms with golden, veiny blackness. I have no idea. I slid off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages. Come on now. You can't just accept the clothing he gave you. I start opening drawers at random, and of course, that's when the door swings open once more. How did he know? I was done. Are you looking for something? No. Or I mean, I guess I found it. I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the edge of the cot. What is a cot? Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. Okay. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move towards me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and molted skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? No. Well, I mean you can, but I know I'm not gonna answer. I clenched my jaw. I knew it would only be a matter of time before he asked about my hands. He didn't ask about your hands. He asked why you need bandages. I don't think he gives a fuck about our hands. Though the way he does it is strangely roundabout. Say nothing, glare at him, decline to answer. I am a bitch. I hope I change. I'm just gonna say nothing, because it seems like the best option. I am gonna save it here though, just to be kind. So let's say nothing. There's no answer I could give him without raising unwelcome suspicion, so I just shake my head and finish tying the bandages in silence. I can only help if you tell me what ails you. Okay. Wow, I should have played this sooner. Oh my gosh. But now I have to... If I get stuck on a cliffhanger, I'm gonna be like desperate to want to finish. Or I'm gonna be desperate to want the full game. See, this is why I don't do this. I don't play demos. I wait for the full game to immerse. To fully like... You know? An involuntary snort of laughter escapes me. Where would I even begin? Would he even believe me if I told him? He's a doctor. Pretty fancy one too. No, best to keep my curse to myself for now. Well, it's yours. And learn more about him first. I would love to know more about you, baby. Who are you? You may call me Karas. The you may call me is different than my name is, you know? It's like he's telling me what to do, and it's like I need that in my life, you know? And where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination? I can only think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. That was not my friend. That was not my friend. The one who tried to choke me out? Not my friend. Iridia. So I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. But you're in the place you want to be. What? How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. Well, yeah, I had one arm, which you provided. Yes. Duh. Who else? He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic condition to me. We love a guy who's, you know. This is good. I already get the feel of this man, right? He's the type to, like, he's obviously commanding type of guy. He's also wearing mesh. I keep going back to his chest. Yeah, so he's definitely a commanding guy. He thinks he's smarter than a lot of people, and he probably is, which makes him even more attractive. So I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine, thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on. Pardon? A Solus attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, I tore all off bewildered. I've never heard of any magic that could heal a mortal wound like that. What kind of person could do such a thing? The doctor, Karas, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you come from, but Iridia is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it is most unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you have refused my divulgence to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. Oh my goodness. Your clothes look so heavy. Like, why don't you take them off? Like,
what?
It's just a suggestion. You are new to Iridia, so I will overlook this specific breach of etiquette. However, you should not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? Oh gosh. Oh my God. I'm melting in my seat. He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit, he has a point. I'm also a complete stranger to him. And if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. But I take a deep, steady breath. This time, when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Degenerate. My name is Degenerate. It's a pleasure to meet you, Degenerate. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Thank you for saving me. Why did you save me? We were dying. How about that? Is that a good answer? Is that a good excuse? We were dying. I think if a doctor saw someone about to die, he wouldn't just go about his day. He would save the person. Plus, it's illegal if you are a doctor, to not give medical attention to someone who's dying. So we're just gonna thank him because he's being nice now. Like, he's being happy. Look at this. Look at that smile. So, thank you for saving my life. I chance a smile in return. Even if he won't explain how he did the impossible, there's no doubt in my mind that I'd be dead if not for Karas. Think nothing of it. You reattached my arm. I'm going to keep thinking about it. I'm not sure if he's just being excessively courteous, but his words only raise more urgent questions. What did he say that made you... But I have to ask, why did you save me? Oh my god. She still asked anyway. Like, I didn't even pick it. She still asked. You don't know me. Oh my gosh. Look at his eyes. The question seems to startle Karas. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. What the fuck did I just say? I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. Hey, he was gonna let us walk around butt-ass? Think! The mind of this person is gone. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what kind of price Karas might ask for such well-made clothes. He probably made it. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across so fascinating a patient. I blink. What did he say? I simply meant that few would cling to life so resolutely. Or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help being curious about you, Degenerate. Interesting. He's already interested in us. So, that makes two of us. His voice dips into a soft murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. You're pretty curious yourself. I don't know what to say to that. So this is basically saying, you want to flirt with him? Or do you want to be a dummy? I'm gonna flirt with him. This is obviously a flirt. I want to see you blush when I'm done picking this. Oh my gosh, she's so like, ugh, I'm like a little schoolgirl. Oh my gosh, I'm just like, ah! Okay. Am I? Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. Yeah, I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. We could discuss quite the handful of forms of payment. I'm willing to do anything with any orifices. I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and it would be unethical to leave you destitute in a strange place. This nigga called me poor. I mean, he's not wrong. I fall silent, unsure what to say to that. Nobody would help a whore like me for free. Bro, again, with the diminishing. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? There is not. Damn, that knock shook the whole screen. A loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. I wish. The knocking grows more insistent, and Kuras lets out a tired sigh. Please wait your turn. I cannot give him a voice. Like, I keep changing it. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, degenerate? Oh. Between the soulless attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to Cenobium. The Cenobium? He looks angry. The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, is it very unlikely you will find it there? You are sexy. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's gonna happen occasionally. I mean, if I play games like this is what's gonna happen. The Cenobium's gates open for precious few visitors. Even if they did, you would not like what you found inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all the way for nothing? Risking life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Iridia is the largest city, still standing. There has to be a cure for me. Then if not the Cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the wet lake. What? The what? Oh, the wet wick. I was like, huh? And ask for Leander. Leander? Who's that? Aha! That's literally... Oh my god, she's so me. So me, yes. Excuse me, the wet what? The wet wick. Isn't a wick like a part of a candle? Wouldn't it being wet be like wrong? He sounds deeply unamused. Follow the postings advertising Leander's bloodhounds. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. I'm gonna tell him quite the handful about you. This isn't much to go on, but Karas points towards the clinic's back door. You will be safe as long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. I will return a lot. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out of the back door. I find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I put the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of chamber pots that have been emptied into the street. Something weighs heavy inside of the cloak's pockets, my coin purse. Everything is still inside. Every last coin that I'd scrapped together for the journey to Iridia. It doesn't even look like it was opened. There were so few coins to begin with, they probably weren't worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Karas didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for any future favor. But he also said that in Iridia, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Karas gave me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. Let us go. I better get going. Before he changes his mind, I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. Changes his mind? He's obviously attending to someone else, so I doubt we are a priority. Sadly. The line outside Karas' clinic stretches down the road already. Two thin peddlers queue alongside withered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet, deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings were tired and dilapidated, all cramped together in narrow streets. And there was something else. A charge in the air, like a shift in pressure before a storm. It's subtle, little more than a faint, persistent thrumming. But I can't seem to shake it. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over me. My stomach gives a faint gurgle. This morning's catch. Fried up, hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. That sounds disgusting, but I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awing. A large fish leers up at me, its three bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you've got? The vendor points at the metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh long, lads. Free cup or a piece. Don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway, adorned, with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. How pretty. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color. Painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. Where? It features a silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring, and the word Bloodhounds printed above his head, a motto, as above so below, circles the artwork. If Leander is the leader of the Bloodhounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. Can we see the poster? I followed the line of identical posters around the corner and nearly hit my head on a precarious dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wick." We made it. The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. You having fun? There is like nobody in here. The inside of the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday, yet most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. Uh-oh. Oh, I just restarted. Bustling bars are not something I'm used to, but I steel myself with a deep breath before pushing forward. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a chant rises from the center of the room. Show! 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 The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and their booths to rush towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. There's no time to move out the way. I'm caught, swept along the alley-stenched current. Hey! Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the press of bodies grow heavier. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself, but the crowd has stilled. The chanting stopped. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Niggas walking across tables? I don't know what voice to give this guy. Like, his shirt is definitely busting through the seams. Like, he's busting through his shirt right now. That's crazy. Seriously, you dogs. Again? Why am I getting everybody out? Scattered laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I drag my eyes upward. Yeah, look at him. Look at him! A well-dressed man stands at the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of a trench coat. This really is the last time, alright? Maybe I won't give him that voice. Maybe I'll give him a different voice. You never know. Things change. This time when he speaks, the audience falls silent, as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. It's a low voice. I don't think I can do a low voice, but I will try. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. You like that, don't you? He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. Don't blink or you'll miss it. He laughs, and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem I found Leander. Damn, I just had an accent just now. It's contagious. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light, real magic, no ordinary stage trick, blinds me. Ugh, I almost went blind, not gonna lie. As brilliance ebbs, my gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. Seems like everybody likes to tower. Damn! Hourglass figure much? Shit. That's something. A lot of eye candy. He flicks his wrist and the magic spiraling around him coalesces. I don't know. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers, one by one. Glowing lily petals spring forth. With a flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. A genuine magic show was the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Alright. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns into a slow circle, giving his audience a good look. Now, who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies while others whistle and call Leander's name. He looks like he gets all the ladies. But his cool green eyes slide right over them, locking on me instead. Because I'm YN. How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. Take the flowers, refuse the flowers. We're gonna take the flowers. And we offered it. So I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers trembled as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hand, their light dims. They fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. Look at you. This guy looks like a slut. Oh my gosh. Leander steps up the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink. Alright, bloodhounds. Get back to your drinks. Show's over. The green cloaks disperse at his command, returning to their tables and booths. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. He looks like he don't sleep either. He's too busy fucking. He gives me a friendly wave, then beckons me over to the crowded counter. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulders His broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Is it your first time in Heredia? He says it lightly, with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. Yup, he's a flirt. Look at his outfit! Oh my gosh. Look at his outfit. He makes sure he doesn't breathe in it. My eyes flicker to the polished countertops. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you? Surprise me, and add anything my friend wants to my tab. I wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. You didn't have no bev? What a true New Yorkian would say. You don't got no bev? What you... Embarrassing is what that is. I'll have what he's having. Okay, no. Yeah, let's drink some water. Water is always good for you. Water's fine. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbow on the counter. I'm close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. Yeah, he is tired. His eyes wander over me in return, but when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my mouth. Throat. Here come the questions. So, what brings you to the wake? Karas sent me. Oh, he don't look too good. Karas looked so happy when he was like, tell him I sent you. But this dude is... He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but it immediately falls right back into place. So it's about work. The bartender pushes a pair of glasses on. Did you want it to not be about work? Like, come on, no. Come on, don't. I have to find the cure for my deteriorating arms. The bartender pushes a pair of glasses our way. I don't realize how thirsty I am until the cool water touches my lips. I drain the water in a single gulp. Damn, I was thirsty. Leander takes a deep swig of his beer and lets out a satisfied breath. How can I be of assistance? I need to get to Cenobium. Didn't Karas just tell this bitch not to go there anyway? Like, As soon as the word cenobium leaves my mouth, the entire ball falls silent. Damn, is everybody listening to me? If I said I had to take a big ass shit, everyone would know. Like, the bloodhounds twist around in their seats and gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. The hell are you bringing up the cenobium in here? Throw him out. This is bloodhound territory. Who cares? I didn't ask all that. The vitriol catches me off guard. From the angry looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the cenobium. We were talking that loud? Or is this place just small? When I glance at Leander, he's drinking, as though he hasn't noticed the uproar. Only when he catches me looking does he lower his glass. For the love of... He drags a hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will ya? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument, but the unspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me wearingly. Shut the Sorry about them. The cenobium is a bit of a touchy subject in these pots. Mixing enough drinks and, well, you saw. I did. How about we continue this outside? Or in a bedroom? No, I won't do that. I won't. Karas is the most attractive so far. When I give him a tears nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. Are you going to be aggressive with me as soon as we get outside? Just two-faced? I follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick, where layers of frayed bloodhound posters have been plastered on the walls. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeliness on the posters is impressive. Cross didn't send you here for help with the cenobium, did he? No. From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggests I find an alternative. Yet, here you are, asking about them anyway. What do you need the cenobium for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Oops, whoops. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information's worth its weight in gold here. You gonna make me pay for your words? Karas told you the truth. The cenobium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky, or torture you if you're not. But the cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning and sanctuary. The cenobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the cenobium. That's why I came here. Or we could come here for some eye candy. I mean, from what else? Like, that's what they want you to think. But things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I staked everything on a lie, then what now? So 2 people have already told you. I bet the next person we meet, we're still gonna ask them about the cenobium. Leander clears his throat. But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem, and alternatives to every solution. Okay, we're getting somewhere. He claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile. That's why Karas pointed you to the bloodhounds. Let us help you, whether it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables. We can do it all, and free of charge. Free. We love anything that's free 99. I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his practice speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, chagrin? Leander nods slowly. Then your problem must be fairly serious. And if the Cenobium's your first choice, you're searching for a magical solution, aren't you? When my eyes widen, he nods along as though he's suspected all along. I'd be happy to help you out. That is, if you tell me what ails you. We didn't even tell Karas, and he's hot. So, what makes you think I'm gonna tell you? Leander might not work for the Cenobium, but he is a mage. And a powerful one at that. Because he made a bouquet of flowers? If his demonstration earlier is any indication, I cannot believe she thinks he's powerful just because... Oh my gosh. We think he's powerful, apparently. No. I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed? Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent? Like he's dealt with people who have curses. He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. It's your hands, isn't it? It's you. She makes it like we make it so obvious. I wait until I'm certain my voice will remain steady before answering. My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I even finish, Leander begins taking his gloves off. He tugs his left hand free and flexes his fingers. Let's see it. Let's. I want to know. Maybe you know. He probably knows. I don't know. He offers me his hand, and a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm. But I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I can't bring myself to hurt him. To see his face twist into a mask of madness. So when we touch people, we make them angry? Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse. I'll be fine. Perhaps where you came from, your affliction was strange and one of a kind. But spend a year in the city and you'll see 1,000 curses and thrice as many curses. Oh, and thrice as many cures. I don't know. Do you really think Karas would send you here if I couldn't handle it? Oh, that's true because he did see my arms, so... How should I know? I only met him today. I'm as good as any mage in the Cenobium. Better even. If they can help, so can I. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. Okay. I look from Leander's outstretched hands to his confident smile. Then with a short breath, I begin unwinding the bandages from my hand. Fine, but if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better. I knew he was a slut! I knew it! I can just see it in some people's faces. Their faces scream slut. He'll do it at a drop of a hat. Like, if you ask, he's like, my room or yours? Like, that's what his response would be. He was blushing at everything. This loves that BDSM. I understand. With each joint I expose, I grow more and more certain that this is a terrible idea. He likes being tied up. Ready when you are? If he's bothered by the way my hands look, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily, I need to read, over his palm. 3, 2, are we really counting? Hold back, touch him. I'm saving it. We're gonna touch him. I tap his palm once, as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. When I look at his face, expecting to see the worst, Leander only grins. See? It can't be. This time, when I reach out to touch Leander's palm again, he catches my wrist before I can pull away. I told you there's nothing to worry about. Why are you blushing? He trails off when my thumb brushes the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. What? Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle bobbing of his throat. How is he... Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people, kissed them, been embraced by them, and more, but not like this. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, picked up every single detail. The grooves of his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the pulse of his heart. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand, not without dire consequences. I've never realized what I was missing until this moment. Oh wow, we are touch-starved. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives way to excitement. I'm gonna keep touching him. This is feeling really good right now, so. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his forearm where smooth skin abruptly gives way to the raised scar by the edge of his sleeve. Damn. It matches the one that runs from his collar to cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? I glance at Leander's face, and his lips part as he considers his words before speaking. Am I the first person you've ever been able to touch? My hands go still on his arm. So far, I'll admit your touch does make it somewhat difficult to stay level-headed, but not due to your power. He is baby girl. He takes my hand, his soft green eyes flick to mine before he turns it to inspect the golden fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. Look, we match. This guy, he's funny, he's a funny one. I'd be his friend. Real close friend. He points to a golden pin on his coat collar, so I give him a small smile. That little thing right there? I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels as though it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. May I ask your name? Degenerate. You were right to hide this from me, Degenerate. That curse of yours. It's unlike anything I've ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet, but you'd best not go showing that off to anyone else. I didn't plan on it. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause. Room and board was something I hadn't yet considered. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. In your room. But not to commit coitus. Just to, keep chatting. The wet wick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of the bloodhounds have disappeared. Dispersed. I created a whole word there. Or in a few cases, fallen asleep beside their drinks. The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. You know, I always keep the corner room open for your escapades. Escapades? He is a playboy! Interesting. He's one of them. Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. And I always appreciate it, but you're mistaken. This is just for my friend, Degenerate. Yes, friend. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. Sure. Stay as long as you'd like. You two have fun. Escapades, huh? That's exactly what I would have said too, like, would have side-eyed this nigga. Leander clears his throat, then holds a key out to me. But I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. Bloodhound rates. I bet it costs nothing to sleep with you, too. My treat. Since you shared your secret, food, drink, a warm bed, anything you'd need. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small but weighs heavy on my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone free meals. Thank you. Go explore, degenerate. You'll find many roads in Iridia, each leading to different answers. But if you need to reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. Just be careful. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leona gives me one last friendly wave before I depart. The air clinks, sodden and heavy. Without the morning crowd, the sunlit streets look barren and bleak. Crack my knuckles. Even the peddlers are long gone. Only a part of crowds remain quibbling over stale crusts in a gutter. I feel a ridiculous pang of envy. At least they've got reason to fight. I've never felt so lost. Karas and Leander both made it clear that the cenobium can't be trusted, but I came so far, endured so much. Yeah, we almost got choked to death, so... I need to see the cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. I should have asked someone at the bar for directions before leaving. To the cenobium? The place that no one likes? Hello? I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back of my neck. Hello? Ugh. The shadow runs down the street in rivulets. I know that word. Formless dark spreads like ink into blotted shapes. Claws stretch, a muzzle splits open to reveal long jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep I feel it. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or a single breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I don't want to let it end like this. If I'm gonna die, I want to see what got me first. I steel myself, then turn. Nothing. The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came. I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone, except for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby shop. That was something. Just one after the other, huh? A monster. I don't think he's a monster. I mean, a monster. One that could nearly be mistaken for a human were it not for the tufted ears and tail curled around his ankle. Damn, it's that long of a tail? Interesting. Or the dusk pink eyes with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. Our eyes meet and the monster uncrosses his long legs. Long legs? We love the descriptions. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsettlingly of blood where it curls around the collared throat. What kind of voice should I give him? Like, this is something that's... I don't know what to do. I think he was just the person that was growling behind our ear, though. His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable little smile. Didn't you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beast I've seen here are the Wicks drooling regulars. Though, this did catch my eye. stole my key! He stole my key! He's wearing mesh. He's I'm trying to get like, I'm basically trying to like break him down. He's wearing some sort of corset. We love that for him. A guy like that. That leg is so like, it's alluring because the rest of him is covered mostly. But like that one part of the thigh is like just out. He stole my key though. With a flourish of his hand, my in-room key appears dangling from his finger. It turns out it turns on its chain, glittering when it catches the light. My hand falls to my cloak's pockets and, sure enough, find them flat. He croaks his finger, beckoning. Can I have my key back? I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels wrong. I'm still on the edge, thrumming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edge of my vision. I always attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. Who said that's my key? Where did you find it? If I answer who said that's my key, it makes it sound like I know that he's trying to make it seem like it's my key. But I'm gonna be like, where did you find it? How'd you even find it? The key, I mean. What can I say? I'm a sucker for shiny things. I think that's gonna be the voice for him. He doesn't need to have an accent. Not all of them have to have an accent, but it's the environment that's making me do that. He smiles wide enough to reveal pointed canines. We love it. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. A city like this, someone might take advantage. Like you? A bald-faced lie said without a hint of irony. There's no way I dropped that key, but I can't think of an explanation for how it went from my pocket to his hand. He stole it because he's the shadow. I approached the man, careful to keep my arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. He's short! Oh my gosh, thank goodness he's short! I apologize. We like tall ones, but the short ones, they're just hit different. The stranger's chain softly clinks with a tilt of his head. His ears flick. Keeping your distance? I'd be stupid to trust you. You think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over here? He gives an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? I might be in love. He got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Oh, his shoes look like they cost even more than I spent traveling here. And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, hearted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. It's a brothel. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyways. I am so mean, but this is probably true. Luckily for you, I don't charge. This guy gives it away for free! I'm sorry. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into that shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. That's not what I meant. What else did you mean? I'm flattered, really. Were sex my trade, I might make an exception for you. How about half off for a handy? Or you could just hand over my key. Ask nicely and I might let you tug my tail. I'm going crazy. I should have played this way sooner. Just throw it here. So some spindly little street urchin can snatch it and run. He raises my key, tilts his head so he can watch it dangle back and forth. I suppose I could just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? Damn, you hate your own home? This music is so nice. His voice practically drips with derision. I'm not telling you anything. What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder? He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his fingers. The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger's sharp eyes flick towards me. They gleam with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. By now my embarrassment has worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. I think he's the type of person who likes people who are hard to get. Like, who play hard to get. I'm gonna turn him down. Are you done, or did you plan on flirting with me until night falls? He touches his chest in mock affront. You wound me. How can you be so immune to my charms? I'm so not. I'm just doing exactly what you want. Literally. I can just tell you're that type of person. You're about as charming as an ox and half as subtle. I suggest you go practice your seduction on someone interested. Why would he do that? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. How about you teach me the ropes? Show me a thing or two. The more he flirts, the more convinced I became that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. And something tells me that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. You gonna compliment him? I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. Every sentence is a flirt. No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not to stand off. Do you like dancing? There's a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their lutist is utterly exquisite. Truly a performance to die for. Why are you telling me this? There's life in this dreadful place, if you know where to look. You sound like you know the city well. The man's gaze flickers from me to the key dangling from his fingers. Naturally, this dump was little more than a miserable little smear when I first arrived. Hightown, Lowtown, I know already like the back of my hand. What about the cenobium? Do you know where that is? What did I say? I knew she was gonna ask other people. There it is again. His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it. That absurdly large tower looming over the rest? It's a little hard to miss. You must mean the spire. I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. The cenobium's overrated. Forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their limp dick towers couldn't even dream of. I've already got plans. Oh, have you some pressing matters at the cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians, tea time with the esteemed abbes. I'm pretty sure that's what that says. That's my business. What's it matter to you? I square my shoulders, and the amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. The stranger, finally bored by his tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm. neatly divided skin and leather. That went on for, like, was he gonna rob me or not, right? When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Of course. Hey! Back up. What are you about to do? He yanks me down, and I stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them, even as his fingers dig into my arm. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death and the road. And that doctor. He doesn't like Karas. No! I was hoping to have a... No! You will learn to love. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boils as he pulls me closer. And something else. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. Let go! I try to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes up at me. Not quite human, not quite monster. Seems we're both. Veer? Is that his name? Veer? The stranger's ears flatten, and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging it where his grip left grooves on the bandages. The stranger twists around to watch a woman duck out of the curtains behind him. Her pressed uniform marks her as a cleric of the cenobium. I leave you for all of what? 10 minutes? And you're making trouble again. Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger Veer, I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine? A natural liar. He grins at me, and his tail wishes minutely. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Veer cuts it. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Although his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger is drawn to you like a moth to a flame. I will always find you given time. The woman clucks her tongue as though she heard this recital 102 times. And 2. Word of advice, don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging on the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilted look from Veer. Oh please, any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still. Veer rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly, it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from the harness attached to his collar, but a leash. A heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlock in the back of his collar, very posed deliberately to hide his leash from me. The woman produces a keyring from her pocket. She riffles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it to the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on your merry little soulless hunt. They're hunting for solace inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The woman regards me with a polite, if tight smile before marching down. Damn! He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed, hmm? Is he not being fed or something? Ah! He's a twink. Veer hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily, as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The Leviathan knot? That's the one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you, it's disgusting. Veer's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait. Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pockets and find it. The room key. This dude. Mischievous little one, isn't he? I pulled it out of my pocket and raised it to the light, just to be sure. A nagging feeling distracts from my relief. I don't know what Veer's game was or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him. A fate I could share, if that's what his vague warning meant. I let my eyes drift skyward past the lanterns, gently swaying in the breeze to the Cenobium, faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need. Then I can put this all behind me. She really wants to go to the Cenobium. This time the keys go into my coin purse for safekeeping. Then he gonna take the coin purse. And that's a whole nother problem. You don't have a room or money. Alright, well, it is getting really late. And we've already met 3 lovely contenders. So I might call this, you know, part 1. So part 2, you just have to wait for a part 2. I am so terribly sorry. So until next time.